Donald Trump meets a 10-year-old boy with a big dream. What he does next is unforgettable. The bustling streets of New York City were alive with energy as Donald Trump stepped out of his limousine outside Trump Tower. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, and pedestrians craned their necks for a glimpse of the larger-than-life figure. But amidst the chaos, one small voice cut through the noise. "Mr. Trump! Mr. Trump!" Trump turned sharply, his sharp gaze landing on a young boy standing just a few feet away, clutching a worn notebook and pencil. The child couldn't have been more than 10 years old, his wide eyes filled with determination, despite the nervous tremor in his voice. "What is it, kid?" Trump asked, raising an eyebrow. "My name's Ethan," the boy replied, taking a hesitant step forward. "I want to be a real estate developer when I grow up. Just like you." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Most people expected Trump to brush the boy off or offer a quick pat on the back before moving on. After all, this was a man known for his busy schedule and no-nonsense demeanor. But something about Ethan caught Trump's attention. Maybe it was the earnestness in his voice, or the way he clutched that notebook like it held the secrets to his future. Whatever it was, Trump found himself intrigued. "You want to be a developer, huh?" Trump asked, crouching slightly to meet Ethan's gaze. "Yes, sir," Ethan replied eagerly. "I've been reading books about buildings and drawing designs in my notebook. Someday I want to build skyscrapers that everyone will look up to, just like yours." Trump smirked faintly, glancing at the notebook in Ethan's hands. "Let me see it," he said, holding out his hand. Ethan hesitated for a moment before handing over the notebook. Inside were pages upon pages of sketches, tall towers, sprawling complexes, and intricate floor plans. Some were crude, others surprisingly detailed, but each one reflected hours of thought and effort. "Not bad," Trump admitted, flipping through the pages. "You've got potential, kid. But do you know what it takes to make dreams like this come true?" Ethan shook his head, his expression a mix of curiosity and awe. "It takes hard work, guts, and a little bit of luck," Trump explained, his tone uncharacteristically reflective. "And sometimes it takes someone believing in you when nobody else does." For a moment, the two stood in silence, surrounded by the hum of the city. Then Trump straightened, his decision made. "Come inside," he said abruptly, gesturing toward the gilded doors of Trump Tower. Ethan froze, unsure if he'd heard correctly. "Inside? Me?" "Yes, you," Trump replied impatiently. "If you're serious about being a developer, you need to see how it's done. And today, I'm going to show you." As they walked into the iconic building, whispers spread among the crowd outside. Was this some kind of publicity stunt? Or was Trump genuinely interested in mentoring a child with big dreams? Once inside, Trump led Ethan to a private conference room overlooking the Manhattan skyline. Spread across the table were blueprints, financial reports, and architectural renderings for upcoming projects. "This is where the magic happens," Trump said, sweeping his arm dramatically. "Every great building starts with an idea, and the courage to turn that idea into reality." Ethan listened intently, soaking in every word. For the first time in his young life, he felt like someone truly believed in him. Not just as a dreamer, but as someone capable of achieving greatness. But as the afternoon wore on, Trump realized this wasn't just a fleeting moment of inspiration. It was the beginning of something much bigger. "And what if I told you," Trump began, leaning forward conspiratorially, "that we could make one of your designs come to life?" Ethan's jaw dropped, his eyes widening in disbelief. "You mean, for real?" "For real," Trump confirmed with a grin. "But only if you're willing to put in the work. Are you ready?" Without hesitation, Ethan nodded. "I'm ready." Little did either of them know, this chance encounter would spark a journey neither would ever forget. If this unexpected twist caught your attention, hit the like button and stay tuned for what happens next. Stories like this remind us that even the smallest moments can lead to incredible opportunities. What do you think Trump has planned for Ethan? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your predictions. Over the next few weeks, Ethan became a regular presence at Trump Tower. Every Saturday morning, He arrived promptly at 9 a.m., a notebook in hand, ready to learn everything he could about real estate development. Trump assigned him tasks ranging from analyzing market trends to sketching preliminary designs for hypothetical projects. At first, the other employees were skeptical. Was this really just a publicity stunt? Or did Trump genuinely see potential in the boy? But as they observed Ethan's relentless enthusiasm and sharp mind, their doubts gave way to admiration. "He's got a knack for this," one senior architect remarked during a meeting. "His ideas are unconventional, sure, but they're creative. Reminds me of someone else we all know." Trump nodded approvingly, though privately he knew Ethan still had much to learn. Success in real estate wasn't just about dreaming big. It was about overcoming obstacles, making tough decisions, and staying resilient in the face of failure. To test Ethan's resolve, Trump decided to introduce a new challenge. "All right, kid," Trump said one Saturday, sliding a thick folder across the table. "Here's your next assignment. I want you to design a community center, a place where people can come together, learn and grow. And I don't want it to be ordinary. Make it something that'll make headlines." Ethan's eyes lit up with excitement, but beneath the surface, doubt lingered. How could a 10-year-old possibly create something groundbreaking? What if he failed? For days, Ethan pored over books, studied blueprints, and sketched countless drafts. His initial designs were ambitious, too ambitious according to Trump, but lacked practicality. "This isn't just about imagination," Trump told him bluntly after reviewing one particularly outlandish concept. "It's about execution. You can dream as big as you want, but if it doesn't work in the real world, it's useless." Ethan nodded, taking the criticism to heart. He returned to the drawing board, determined to strike a balance between creativity and feasibility. Slowly but surely, his vision began to take shape. A sleek, eco-friendly building featuring solar panels, green spaces, and multi-purpose rooms designed to foster collaboration. When he finally presented the revised design to Trump, the billionaire studied it carefully, his expression unreadable. "Not bad," Trump admitted after a long pause. "But there's one more thing you need to do." "What's that?" Ethan asked nervously. "You need to pitch it, to me, to my team, and to anyone who'll listen. If you can't sell your idea, it doesn't matter how good it is." The thought of standing in front of a room full of adults terrified Ethan. Public speaking had never been his strong suit, and the pressure of presenting to Trump's seasoned team felt insurmountable. "I don't think I can do it," Ethan confessed later that evening, sitting cross-legged on his bedroom floor, surrounded by crumpled papers and eraser shavings. His mother, overhearing his frustration, knelt beside him. "Ethan," she said gently, "you've worked so hard to get here. Don't give up now. Remember why you started." Taking a deep breath, Ethan resolved to face his fears head-on. Over the next week, he practiced tirelessly, rehearsing his pitch until he could recite it in his sleep. On the day of the presentation, Ethan stood before Trump and his team, his heart pounding like a drum. For a moment he froze, his voice catching in his throat. Then he remembered Trump's words, "Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it." Summoning every ounce of determination, Ethan began to speak. "This community center isn't just a building," he explained, his voice growing steadier with each word. "It's a symbol of hope, innovation, and unity. It's designed to bring people together, to inspire them to dream bigger and work harder. And yes, it's bold, but so is the future we're trying to build." When he finished, the room erupted into applause. Even Trump, who rarely showed emotion, offered a rare smile. "Kid," he said, clapping Ethan on the back, "you've got guts. I like that." But the journey wasn't over yet. Impressed by Ethan's progress, Trump announced an even bigger step. He would fund the construction of Ethan's community center as long as Ethan remained actively involved in every stage of the process. "This isn't charity," Trump clarified. "It's an investment in you, in your vision, and in the countless lives this project will impact." For Ethan, the news was both exhilarating and daunting. The road ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to rise to the occasion. If Ethan's determination inspires you, take a moment to follow our channel for more stories about courage and perseverance. Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed impossible to overcome? Share your experience in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you push through it. Together, let's celebrate the power of resilience and big dreams. Construction on Ethan's community center began months later, transforming a vacant lot in a struggling neighborhood into a beacon of hope. The project quickly gained attention, not just for its innovative design, but for the remarkable story behind it. News outlets dubbed Ethan the boy who dreamed big, and interviews with him and Trump aired nationwide. But as the foundation was laid and steel beams rose toward the sky, Ethan faced challenges far beyond anything he had anticipated, balancing schoolwork, family responsibilities, and his role in overseeing the project proved overwhelming. Late nights spent reviewing blueprints and attending meetings left him exhausted, and doubts began creeping in. "What if I'm not cut out for this?" Ethan confided to his mother one evening, tears streaming down his face. "What if I let everyone down?" His mother hugged him tightly, her voice filled with reassurance. "Ethan, you've already achieved so much more than anyone thought possible. Don't give up now. Remember why you started and who believes in you." The next morning, Ethan arrived at the construction site, feeling drained but determined. As he walked through the partially completed structure, he imagined families gathering in the future community center, children laughing, adults learning new skills, and neighbors coming together to support one another. "This isn't just about me," he realized. "It's about them." That afternoon, Trump stopped by the site unexpectedly. Clad in a hard hat and boots, he inspected the progress before pulling Ethan aside. "How are you holding up, kid?" Trump asked, his tone unusually soft. "To be honest, it's harder than I thought," Ethan admitted, his voice trembling slightly. "I feel like I'm failing." Trump studied him carefully, then gestured toward the towering framework of the building. "You see that?" he asked, pointing to the steel beams. "Every great structure starts with a solid foundation. But foundations aren't built overnight. They take time, effort, and patience. Same goes for dreams. You're not failing, Ethan. You're growing." Ethan nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "Thanks, Mr. Trump," he said quietly. "I needed to hear that." As the weeks passed, Ethan threw himself back into the project with renewed vigor. He worked closely with architects, engineers, and contractors, learning valuable lessons about teamwork, problem-solving, and leadership. Slowly but surely, the community center began to take shape, a testament to Ethan's vision and perseverance. When the grand opening finally arrived, the neighborhood came alive with celebration. Hundreds of people gathered outside the gleaming building, eager to see what Ethan had helped create. Inside, classrooms buzzed with activity, art installations adorned the walls, and a rooftop garden offered stunning views of the city skyline. During the ribbon-cutting ceremony, Ethan stood nervously beside Trump, clutching the microphone as he addressed the crowd. "When I first met Mr. Trump," he began, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach, "I never imagined something like this could happen. But he taught me that no dream is too big if you're willing to work for it. This community center isn't just mine. It belongs to all of you. It's proof that when we come together, we can achieve incredible things." The audience erupted into applause, many wiping away tears. Trump stepped forward, placing a hand on Ethan's shoulder. "This kid has guts, heart, and vision," he declared, his voice ringing with pride. "And he's only getting started." After the ceremony, Ethan wandered through the bustling halls of the community center, marveling at how far he'd come since that day outside Trump Tower. Families thanked him profusely. Children tugged at his sleeve, asking questions, and strangers praised him for inspiring their own dreams. For the first time, Ethan truly understood the impact of what they had accomplished, not just for himself, but for an entire community. Later that evening, as fireworks lit up the night sky above the newly opened center, Trump approached Ethan with a thoughtful expression. "You know," he said, his tone reflective, This place will change lives for generations. And it all started with a 10-year-old boy who refused to give up on his dream. Ethan smiled, looking out at the sea of smiling faces illuminated by the colorful explosions. "And it wouldn't have happened without someone believing in me," he replied. Trump chuckled softly, patting him on the back. "Well, kid, consider this just the beginning. There's still plenty more to do. If Ethan's journey inspires you to chase your own dreams, hit the like button and share this video with someone who needs a boost of motivation today. What's one lesson you'll carry with you from Ethan's story? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear how this narrative resonated with you. Together, let's keep spreading stories of courage and determination. Years passed, and the community center became a cornerstone of the neighborhood. A vibrant hub of learning, creativity, and connection. Families gathered for workshops, students attended after-school programs, and local artists showcased their work in rotating exhibits. The rooftop garden, once just an idea sketched in Ethan's notebook, blossomed into a lush oasis where people found solace and inspiration. For Ethan, the project marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey. As he entered high school, his passion for architecture and development only grew stronger. He continued working with Trump, who mentored him through internships, college applications, and even international projects. By the time Ethan graduated from university at the top of his class, he had already made a name for himself as a rising star in the field of sustainable design. But despite his growing success, Ethan never forgot where it all began. On the 5th anniversary of the community center's opening, he returned to the site, now bustling with even more activity than before, to host a special event honoring the volunteers, donors, and neighbors who had helped bring his vision to life. Standing on the same stage where he had delivered his first speech years earlier, Ethan addressed a packed auditorium. "When I was 10 years old," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "I dreamed of building something that would make a difference, but I never could have done it alone. This place exists because of the kindness, hard work, and belief of so many people, including one person who saw potential in a kid with a notebook and gave him a chance." He turned to Trump, who sat in the front row, clapping along with the rest of the audience. "Mr. Trump," Ethan continued, his eyes glistening with tears, "you didn't just build a building, you built a dream. And because of you, I've been able to pass that dream forward to others." Trump rose to his feet, visibly moved by Ethan's words. "Ethan," he said, stepping onto the stage to join him, "this isn't my legacy. It's yours. Your proof that greatness comes from grit, heart, and a refusal to settle for anything less than your best. Keep dreaming big, kid. The world is waiting for what you'll do next." The crowd erupted into applause as the two embraced, a moment captured by photographers and shared widely across social media. It wasn't just a celebration of a building, it was a testament to the power of mentorship, resilience, and believing in someone when they need it most. In the years that followed, Ethan carried the lessons he'd learned into every project he undertook. From designing affordable housing complexes to spearheading urban renewal initiatives, he remained committed to creating spaces that brought people together and uplifted communities. His story inspired countless young dreamers, many of whom reached out to thank him for showing them that no goal was too ambitious if approached with determination and courage. Meanwhile, Trump often reflected on the impact of that fateful day outside Trump Tower. In a world filled with fleeting headlines and superficial gestures, Ethan's journey stood out as a reminder of the lasting change that could be sparked by a single act of faith. "I didn't do much," Trump admitted during a rare, candid interview. "I just gave a kid a chance. The rest was all him." For Ethan, the true measure of success wasn't fame or fortune. It was the lives touched by the community center and the ripple effect of hope it created. On the 10th anniversary of its opening, he unveiled a new wing dedicated entirely to fostering young innovators. Dubbed Dream Big Hall, it featured interactive exhibits, makerspaces, and resources designed to empower the next generation of builders, thinkers, and changemakers. "This is for every kid who dares to dream," Ethan declared during the unveiling ceremony. Because dreams matter, and they can change the world. As fireworks lit up the night sky once again, Ethan stood beside Trump, looking out at the sea of faces illuminated below. "You did good, kid," Trump said, his voice tinged with pride. "We did good," Ethan replied, smiling. Together, they had proven that even the smallest acts of belief could grow into something monumental. And as the crowd cheered, it was clear that their story would continue to inspire for generations to come. If this story of courage and mentorship resonated with you, take a moment to subscribe to our channel and join a community dedicated to celebrating stories of hope and transformation. What's one dream you've always wanted to chase? Share your aspirations in the comments below. We'd love to hear how Ethan's journey has inspired you to pursue your own goals. Together, let's keep spreading stories that remind us all to dream big and believe in the impossible.